It is 8:22, and so the question comes in, and so Mike, the question is, wine was set too long and it went a little sour. Is that does that happen?
It does. You know, after 3 or 4 days, it just goes off.
3 or 4 days?
Yeah, I mean, and it depends on the wine.
If you've opened it.
After it's been opened, and
Okay.
it depends on the quality of the wine, how it was made in the first place, the amount of tannin in the wine, and so forth. But once you know that it's gone and a little bit off and gotten sour, you cook with wine that you will drink. So
or you have it with that stuff.
Yeah, or quinoa, or whatever that is.
Quinoa. Yeah, whatever. Make me with that.
I promise you, we will never do a gluten-free recipe paired with wine.
Yeah,
I'm all about the stuff that'll kill you.
Yeah, me too.
So now what? It's not like milk that goes sour, but what happens to wine when you let it sit for a few days?
Well, it gets sour.
Is it like a
vinegar.
fermentation?
Yeah, and it gets bitter as well, and you really don't want to put it in a nice dinner that you're cooking because the flavor
nasty.
from it will be off-putting. Absolutely,
It's nasty.
yeah. Step away from it, move on, pour it down the drain.
Okay,
that's my recommendation. And then we had 3 cool questions this week. The other one was about aerating the wine. When would you aerate wine, and when wouldn't you? And so I think I gave Joe, who's one of our fans, and she's got a high level of wine knowledge, and she runs a wine club here in town. And I had a little bit of a different answer. I mean, I don't always use an aerator because I don't want to bruise my fruit.
Well, neither do I, Mike.
I knew you would bite on that, Scott. I love it. Don't bruise my fruit. That's one of my resolutions for the new year.
What on earth are you talking about, bruising the fruit? What does that mean? Can you? What do you? How do you? You know what I'm saying?
I even laughed at 3 this morning when I wrote that, and Paula's crying. I love it even more. So here's the deal. With a nice bottle of wine, a good to great bottle of wine, you've probably planned ahead for the event, and you've probably prepared a special dinner around it. I really recommend using a decanter. And I've on the blog and on my Facebook page where there's a link to the blog post, I've talked about how to pour the wine into a decanter so it decants properly. It's gentle on the wine, and that's how I'm going to treat a nice bottle of wine.
So you don't want to just put the bottle out there?
No, I'm not going to put it out there because, that is a method, and I do that if I'm lazy. But if it's a good bottle of wine, I'm going to go to the trouble of decanting it. And with an aerator, you're really whipping and oxygenating the wine. And I think a lower quality wine, and that doesn't mean inexpensive, will benefit from being whipped like that and oxygenated. I think it'll bring out the best that wine has to offer.
So it depends on the wine you're having.
And if you're a geek and you carry around a aerator in your purse or in your back pocket, bring it to the restaurant, because a lot of restaurants typically do not decant their wines. And if you're buying a nice bottle of wine at a restaurant to go with a dinner, I think there's no harm, no foul in using the aerator on your bottle of wine and suggesting it to the server. I did recommend, showing the server how to use it so they're not embarrassed at the table. And then they're more engaged in your dining experience as well with you. So,
but don't you think, Mike, if you were buying a nice bottle of wine, for me, if I bought a nice bottle of wine and I had people coming over for dinner, I'd want to put the bottle out there because I would want them to see the label, know I bought a nice bottle of wine.
And if it had a price sticker on it, all the better.
See?
Well, and typically what you would do is decant the wine ahead of time.
Yeah.
I would decant it probably an hour and a half ahead of time, and then you can pour it back into the bottle and serve it at the table, and it's been properly decanted. The wine's going to be open, and you're going to realize all the beautiful nuances in that bottle of wine has to offer.
All right.
But don't bruise my fruit.
But don't bruise the fruit, man.
Right.
All right? And everybody should know, since it's radio and you can't see it, that every morning on Wednesdays when Mike comes in here to talk about wine, he's pounding Red Bull.
I know.
That's because I don't go to bed before I do these
Have
shows.
you properly decanted that?
Has that Red Bull been decanted, Mike?
It's been. I have a special dance I do before I open the Red Bull.
Oh, perfect.
It's a sort of a ceremony, if you will.
Good.
But I don't bruise this either.
Yeah,
It's special as well.
Probably you don't want to do that. Hey, Mike, have a great day, all right?
Happy Wine Wednesday and Happy New Year to all of you.
Thanks for coming in. Congratulations to Kim Zaka. Kim won our certificate to go and enjoy Chow Mambo on us. It's 8:27, 21 degrees outside.
Wow.